There was a little boy who had been learning to play the violin. He'd been at it for a while now, putting in the hours, showing up, doing the work. One day, filled with the quiet confidence of someone who genuinely believed in himself, he turned to his big brother and asked, "I'm good, aren't I?" His brother nodded slowly. "You should be on the radio." The boy's eyes lit up. "Wow, you really think I'm that good?" "No," his brother said. "But at least if you were on the radio, I could switch you off." Funny, right? But stay in that room for a second. Stay with that boy. Because what just happened to him has happened to you. Maybe not with a violin. Maybe with a business idea you shared at the dinner table, and someone laughed. Maybe with a dream you wrote down, and someone told you was unrealistic. And maybe with a gift you were brave enough to show the world. And the world shrugged. You know that feeling. That specific sting of putting yourself out there and being told, in so many words, "You're not that good." The question is, what did you do next? Here's what I've learned about people who actually make it. They weren't always the most talented in the room. They weren't always the smartest, the most connected, the most polished, but they had one thing that separated them from everyone who quit. They refused to let someone else's opinion become their reality. See, discouragement is loud. It's confident. It wears a sensible face and speaks in reasonable tones. It says, "I'm just being realistic." It says, "I'm just looking out for you." It says, "Most people who try this fail." And it's right. Statistically, most people do fail. But statistics are written about the average, and you were never built to be average. Everybody has a brother, not always a blood one. Sometimes it's a parent, a friend, a mentor who should have known better. Sometimes it's a comment section. Sometimes, and this is the cruelest version, it's your own voice at 2 a.m. whispering, "Who do you think you are?" But here's what I need you to understand about the brother. When someone discourages your dream, they are not giving you information about your ceiling. They are giving you information about theirs. They stopped. They settled. They made peace with less than they wanted. And something about watching you keep going makes them deeply uncomfortable, because your persistence is a mirror, and some people would rather break the mirror than face what it's showing them. So when someone tries to switch you off, hear it for what it really is. Hear them saying, "I gave up on mine. Please, give up on yours. It's lonely here." And then, with every ounce of fire in your chest, keep playing. Now, I'm not going to sell you a fantasy. The road between where you are and where you're going is ugly. There will be months where nothing moves, where the effort feels invisible, where the people who doubted you seem right, and the people who believed in you have gone quiet, and you're alone in a room, wondering if you made a massive mistake. That's not failure. That's the middle. Every person you admire has lived there. Every artist, every founder, every leader who looks effortless from the outside, they all bled in private for years before anyone was watching. How the dream doesn't care about your timeline. It only cares about one thing. Did you show up today? Not perfectly, not brilliantly, just did you show up? Because showing up day after day, when it isn't glamorous and nobody's applauding, that is the real talent. That is the skill. That cannot be taught and cannot be faked. I'm talking to the person who almost didn't start. I'm talking to the person deep in the middle right now, surrounded by people waiting for them to quit. I'm talking to the person who has been handed someone else's doubt and has been carrying it around so long it started to feel like their own. Put it down. That is not yours to carry. Pick up the violin. Play the imperfect notes. Let them laugh. Let them change the station. Let them switch you off, because the people who tried to silence, in every great thing that ever existed, nobody remembers their names. The little boy kept playing, and one day, the whole room went quiet. Not to mock him, but to listen. That day is coming for you too. Don't you dare stop before it gets here. This is Grow with Ace Motivation. Subscribe to this channel to stay motivated daily. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.